Okay, let's dive right in. We're going to break down the DNA of good writing, the absolute core of how we communicate ideas, this sentence. And forget all those dusty old grammar rules you learned in school. Think of this more like learning the blueprint to build more powerful, clearer, and just all-around better writing.
I mean, seriously, who doesn't, right? Whether it's an essay for class, an important email, or even just a text where you're trying to win an argument, the strength of your message, well, it often comes down to how well you build your sentences.
And that's exactly what we're looking at today. We're going to get into the 3 fundamental structures you need to know. Master these, and you'll have a complete toolkit to make your writing sharp, engaging, and way more effective.
All right, first things first. We'll begin with the most essential tool in the box. This is the bedrock, the fundamental building block of all writing, the simple sentence.
So what does that actually mean in plain English? It means it has one subject, that's the who or what of the sentence, and one predicate, which is just a fancy way of saying what the subject is doing or being. The main thing is, it's one single, complete idea that can stand all by itself.
Simple sentences are all about being direct. Take this for example. His courage won him honor. See that? The subject is his courage. And what did it do? It won him honor. Boom. It's one clean, punchy idea. No extra fluff, just a powerful statement.
So yeah, don't sleep on this structure. A simple sentence really cuts through the noise. When you need to make a strong point, state a fact with confidence, or just create a little bit of drama, the simple sentence is your best friend. It's clear, it's direct, and it's pretty much impossible to misunderstand.
Okay, so we've got our basic Lego brick. Now let's see what happens when we start clicking 2 of them together to build something a little bigger. This is where the compound sentence comes into play.
Now, don't get thrown off by the term main clause. A main clause is just another name for a simple sentence, a complete thought that can stand on its own. So a compound sentence is basically just 2 or more simple sentences linked together as equal partners. Neither one is more important than the other.
And this slide shows it perfectly. Over on the left, you've got 2 kind of choppy sentences. The moon was bright, we could see our way. But on the right, they're connected. The moon was bright, and we could see our way. The ideas are still equal, but now they flow together. It's a small change that makes the writing feel a whole lot smoother.
Now the key here is that there's a special set of words that act as the glue for these sentences. You might remember the acronym FANBOYS, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. Think of them like a handshake between 2 equally important ideas.
And that's the whole point. You use this structure when you want to create a sense of balance or show a contrast between 2 ideas that carry the same weight. It adds a nice rhythm to your writing and keeps it from sounding like a list of short, robotic facts.
All right, time to level up. We've laid the foundation and we've put up the walls. Now it's time to add the details, the stuff that makes the whole thing interesting. This is where we get into the complex sentence.
Okay, here's the big shift. Unlike a compound sentence where both parts are equal, a complex sentence has a clear boss. You have one main clause, our good old simple sentence, that carries the main idea. And then you have at least one subordinate or dependent clause that adds extra information, but, and this is crucial, it can't stand on its own.
And this is the absolute key difference you gotta remember. A subordinate clause is kinda needy. It has a subject and a verb, but it just doesn't express a complete thought. It needs that main clause to lean on for its meaning to be complete. If you break it down, the formula is actually pretty straightforward. You've got your main idea. Then you add a little extra piece that gives more context, like when, why, or how something happened. Words like because, while, although, and if are your big clues that a subordinate clause is coming up.
Let's look at this example. They rested when evening came. You can see how the parts work. They rested is the main event. That's a complete thought. But that second part, when evening came, well, that's not a full sentence on its own, is it? It's just extra detail that tells us when they rested. It totally depends on that main clause to make any sense.
This is the pro move for real. When you need to explain more sophisticated relationships like showing that one thing happened because of another or in spite of something else, the complex sentence is your most powerful tool. It adds a ton of depth and precision to your writing.
So, we've covered the 3 core blueprints. Let's put it all together and take a look at the complete toolkit you now have ready to go.
This right here is your cheat sheet. The main takeaway from all of this: a simple sentence for a punch, a compound sentence to connect 2 equal ideas, a complex sentence to add detail and show how those ideas relate. Honestly, knowing which one to use and when is a total game changer.
And this is the most important rule of all.
The goal isn't to just write a bunch of long, complex sentences to sound smart. No way. The best writers are masters of variety. They'll hit you with a short, simple sentence for impact, then follow it with a flowing compound sentence, and then use a complex sentence to dive deep. That variety is what keeps a reader hooked. So think about it. You've got the tools. You've got the blueprint. The next time you sit down to write anything, be intentional. Consciously choose your sentence structure. The power to write with clarity, rhythm, and depth is right there in your hands.